Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to give you a glimpse inside of how we make a
modular closet system.
That's right. Why is it modular? So it can grow with your kids. So come with us and let's see how we got it done. So what exactly is a French cleat? A lot of you already know, but in case you don't, it's a 45-degree angle joint that has a super strong hold. I start off by ripping some 3/4 inch plywood down to some strips here. I'm going to use these to make the cubby holes that are going to be modular units that are going to be attached to the wall with that French cleat system. Instead of chopping these up on the miter saw, I'm enlisting the use of this panel cutting sled. 6 pieces in total. Here, I'm installing a sacrificial fence up against the fence on my table saw. This way, when I run this 1/8 inch plywood through, it doesn't bind up underneath it, giving me a nice, accurate cut. These are going to be used for the backs of the cubby holes. Cutting them here on the panel cutting sled as well. The sides of the cubby holes are going to be cut at a slight angle here, 3 inches from one side and 3 inches from the other. Cut them at the bandsaw. Bind them together with some quick clamps and take a belt sander to it. Makes quick work of getting those edges nice and flush. Finished up the sanding with a 120 grit with my random orbit sander. Now we're good to go. And that leaves me with bottoms, sides, fronts, and backs. On to a little assembly here. I'm gonna go ahead and use 1 1/4 inch brads, 18 gauge. This process goes really quickly. All the pieces are ready to go, already pre-cut. Little glue, brads again. Now, don't worry about this piece being only 1/8 of an inch in the back. Reason being, that French cleat, well, that's gonna give it some more rigidity on the backhand side. Since this is gonna be installed in my kids' room, I'm gonna go ahead and break all the edges, making sure there's no sharp edges on that plywood. And now it's time to cut the cleats. I cut these in 5-inch sections. Tilt the blade to 45 degrees. Man, I'll tell you what, if you guys don't have one of these digital angle calibration widgets, if you will, they are spot on. Love this tool. Now, if I've measured correctly, both of these pieces should be the exact same size. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Here I take a quick measurement on where to cross-cut these. Use the cross-cut sled. Check it again, one more time. And now we're good to go. Giving these pieces a little sanding because, again, I don't want any sharp edges due to the fact it's going in my kid's room. Not only am I installing the French cleat on the top, but I'm also installing a 3/4 inch piece on the bottom. That way the cleat has something to rest up against the wall, that way it doesn't cave in. Glue and brads are all you need for this, except I'm gonna reinforce the joint at the top with glue and screws as well. These are 1 5/8 inch screws going in just like this, right into that plywood on the edge. And there we go, just like that, 6 cubbies made in one afternoon. Okay, so I've made some cubbies, but now I gotta make something where the clothes can hang. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make 3 units that are gonna be modular still, again with that French cleat, and they're gonna be able to hang clothes up. Check this out, 6 sides, 3 tops, and we cut them like this. 3 inches from the top, 3 inches from the side, make that angle cut right there on the bandsaw again, and then we're good to go, guys. Same process as before. We start with 40 grit sandpaper, working our way to 120 grit. Bind those things up together, that way you can flush up those edges real nice and clean. I actually had some closet rod lying around from the last project, but it's not too expensive at the home center. I go ahead and take a pipe cutter instead of a hacksaw. I find this is much easier to get this thing cut. Looks like it does a great job. Then onto the drill press, I go ahead and set up a series of stop blocks once I get a hanger involved to see where I need to drill this hole. This hole is the same diameter as the closet rod, but it's only drilled about halfway through the material. Now it's time to transfer that hole to the other side where the closet rod is going to rest. What I do is I take an ice pick and I jam it through, giving me a reference hole on the back side. Then I take the smallest drill bit I can find and I drill it right through, giving me a pilot hole to start where I know that closet rod is going to match up on the other side perfectly. Unfortunately, my battery happened to die while I was filming this part. I don't have any footage of it, but you get the gist. All right, I go ahead and hammer those 2 pieces in place and line them up on the top. It looks like it's lining up pretty well. A little fine tuning, clamp it down, and here we go. Glue and brads is all you need. I used some more of that 1/8 inch plywood to go ahead and mark my lines, take it over to the chop saw, make my cuts, and install these backs with a little glue and brads. And now it's time to install the cleats on these pieces as well. These units, of course, are going to be modular too, and you will see just exactly how this is going to work in just a second. And here we are the next morning. I think this is a pretty good start. 6 cubbies and 3 different hanging modules, good to go. Now, I take a forstner bit and recess about 1/4 inch in where these cabinet screws are going to go that are going to install these into the studs into the closet. I install 3 cabinet screws per cleat, 2 on each side and 1 right in the middle. Again, recessing that hole because you don't want your cubby to have a protrusion where it won't mount correctly. First test run was a success. Now I do that same process over and over again until I've installed 5 different cleats. 2 cabinet screws on the edges, 1 in the middle, and this system's not going anywhere. Well, this is kind of what I envisioned to begin with. 9 different units, 6 cubbies, 3 hanging units, and here's how we put them in. Now, there's a variety of ways you can do this. As you see here, you can incorporate hanging down low, cubbies up high, laundry baskets, whatever. Choice is yours. And here we go, final product that we're gonna go with. My boy's putting away the rest of his clothes. Good job, bub. Well, we are very happy with how this turned out. Again, this is modular. This is designed to grow with your children. When they get taller, they can move this stuff around to fit their needs better. I know he likes it, I like it too. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hey guys, thanks for joining us for this one. This was an absolute blast to build. Why is it modular, you ask? Well, this kid probably is gonna be 6'10", right? You gonna be that tall?
I hope not.
No, I hope not. Anyway, he's going to be taller than me one day, and I'm about 6'1", 6'2", you know, depending on what convenience store I walk out of. But check it out, y'all. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up down below. I'd invite you to subscribe as well. There's going to be a few other videos over here that YouTube is going to maybe think you want to watch. I don't know. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate it.
She likes it too.
And she is so excited about it too. Thanks for watching, y'all. Take care.